This is A Game, fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what are we talking about today? This is why Black women throw their degrees in Black men's faces. And, you know, for the past few days, maybe the past few weeks, I've been talking a lot about Black women and their education and the different aspects. And some might come away with thinking that I have a problem with Black women getting an education, and I don't. I don't have a problem with anybody getting an education. I feel like getting that is a help. That is not necessarily something that's bad or something that should be, you know what I'm saying, looked down upon or anything like that. And I'm certainly not here to attack any woman, any Black woman that's got a degree. The only reason, though, that I'm really kind of focusing on education and academia at this point and Black women attending these universities is because I've recognized that the university is the seat and it's the seal for the gynocracy. This is how you get your gynocratic stamp as a card-carrying member. And there are too many Black women that go through those doors and come out a raging feminist, and she comes back to her neighborhood, her family, or whatever, and through those ideals and through acting out those ideals and living her life according to those ideals ends up in the destruction of the family that she's supposed to uphold. So this is why I'm actually talking about the degree and, you know what I'm saying, and getting the education in the first place, because we're not talking about mathematics and sciences and things of that nature. We're talking about the social programming that comes along with it, those particularly those gender studies classes and any derivative of such classes or classes that teach this type of woke thinking, feminist thinking, SJW, you know what I'm saying, believe all women, me too, times up, you know what I'm saying, type of thought pattern. That's what I'm really attacking, because it's too many Black women that come out of them institutions feeling like they really know something. And really what they've done is received a battery in their back to come back to their men, other Black women, their children, and set a path of destruction that we have been on for quite some time. Why do you think they admit Black women more than they admit Black men? It's not that Black men aren't qualified or they're too stupid to get admitted into these universities, but because Black women see a value in getting into these universities. And she sees a value in getting into it because this validates her. Going to the university and going to get degrees, even degrees that don't really result in good professions and good careers, they're not good career choices. Really, she went and she just got into debt for something she could have learned off of Google, which is the reality of most people's degrees nowadays. But anyway, this is Zaddy's validation. And she likes waving it in Black men's faces because it's almost like a nana nana boo boo. I got Zaddy's validation and you didn't. I went through the channels that Zaddy set in the society that is meant to tell you that you're now a valuable member of the society by going to school, by getting a degree, by getting a job, and working for somebody else's company and work to make their dream come true. This is why when Black men try to start businesses and stuff and be entrepreneurs, and they don't do so by going through those channels, she doesn't see any value in it, because if his business takes a little longer than she thinks it should to start up or to be profitable, first thing to come out of her mouth is, you should stop that and go get a job. Because to her, working for Zaddy is the ultimate perfection and is the ultimate pleasure. That's because she's a mammy. And she doesn't like it when the black man isn't a buck, isn't a eunuch, and isn't a male version of a mammy himself. Okay? Then the other thing about it is, this in her mind brings her acceptance, or closer to the acceptance of Zaddy and of white femininity. See, in all ways, the black feminist, the black gynocrat, not only is looking at the world through a feminist lens, but she's also looking at the world through a plantation lens. This is where black feminism and white feminism differs. It's the only differing point, because black women who are feminists, who engage completely in this woke stuff, really are looking for validation and acceptance from white men. And she's looking to finally fill her spot and knock the white woman out of her spot and take her place as Zaddy's woman. Okay? This is the myth of white womanhood. Shout out to BGS Ibmore for that concept, because the myth of white womanhood is something that black women have been pining after since the first wave of feminism. Since Sojourner Truth made that speech, "Ain't I a woman too?" Again, she was talking to white men. She wasn't talking to black men. She wasn't looking for the validation of a black man. She was looking for the validation of the only man she see as a man, which is Zaddy, because in the black feminist mind, the only man is Zaddy. He's the only man. Black men are not men. They are boys or animals or beasts of burden, but they're not men. Okay? So the only man is a white man. You understand? She don't mind being under his quote unquote patriarchy and under his rule. She's happy to serve actually under that. So going to get this degree actually in the warped subconscious of that brings her closer to white womanhood. Eventually, because she went through these steps so meticulously, that Zaddy told her this was what makes you a valuable woman. If you go through this step and this step and this step, you'll be a valuable woman when you buy into the lost value system. When you value my wealth over your spirituality. When you value my leisure over your health. When you value your profession, the profession I give you over your family. When you value your education over your appearance. When you value your mobility over your dwelling. When you value these things in that order, then you'll be a valuable woman, and I may choose you. So she diligently goes along this pathway in order to receive the approval and the validation of Zaddy. This is where that's really coming from. And so when she thinks that she got this validation, she dangles it in front of black men's faces, again, like nana nana boo boo. But then we gotta go into another aspect of that. She actually feels that she can control black men's lives through these degrees, because it's not just on a personal level where she wants to control finances and she wants to control the dynamics of a personal relationship. It's that, but it also goes deeper than that when she attempts to insert herself in certain positions within the environment, within institutions, within management, within companies. I mentioned in one of my live streams how there are a lot of black women period, and a lot of black women in these HR, these human resources departments in these various companies. And we understand that human resources is the department that's largely responsible for hiring and firing and responsible for enforcing the different policies that companies have in place, which are gynocratic policies more often than not, because they got to be politically correct, quote unquote, in order to not be seen as a discriminatory employer. So she gets into these positions, law, business, judges, police. She gets into being a mayor. She gets into these positions and acts as a gatekeeper. Okay, she acts as a gatekeeper really for palm color supremacy. She's the mammy. It's so ironic that they call women who don't subscribe to that as mammies, when the actual definition of a mammy is one who gatekeeps and safeguards white supremacy. So she's the one that actually acts in this manner. So she liked them stats because she knows that she has a hand in making stats where Black women are getting hired more than Black men, and they're finding jobs more than Black men. She knows she has some hand in that. Because if she's in charge of hiring and firing, she's not going to recommend that Black man or hire him for the job. If he already works there and he's doing a good enough job to get a promotion, if it's up to a Black woman and whether or not it's yay or nay, it's not really going to be yay. I know she'll think of a reason why he shouldn't be promoted over maybe a Brad or a Becky. You see what I'm saying? Or a Shonda. This is the other thing that they do. They have these degrees in order to practice nepotism. But for all of that B1 Black first that Black women like to say that they on, they really only practice nepotism for other Black women. So again, when they're in these positions to offer a leg up or to recommend promotions or to hire or to fire or to do any of these things where she's kind of moving pieces, even at a middle management level, she's going to move those pieces in favor of Black women over and above Black men. And the thing about that is, if you were really Black first and it was about the Black family being healed and coming together, you would actually, at minimum, instead of necessarily flipping it over and only practicing nepotism for Black men, you'd be fair. You'd actually just be fair. If she's not qualified, then we're not hiring her. It doesn't matter that she's a Black woman and what her situation might be. Her situation is a personal problem. Is she qualified for this job? And is she more qualified than the other candidates for this job? If this Black man don't sleep with you, is he a candidate to get fired off of the basis of his lack of performance at work? Or are you going to use what strings you have to be able to pull to get him in some type of trouble so that he can get fired? Because now you don't like what he said, or you tried to sleep with him and he gave you a hard pass or whatever, because we know that Black women like to do stuff like that. Don't even sit up here and cap like you don't do stuff like that, because you do. And the thing about all of this is, even if he doesn't verbalize it, Black men know that that's what you do with your degree, and that's why he don't care about it. That's why when you come up and say what type of accomplishments you got and what type of degree you got and all this type of stuff, like he be like, because he don't care, because he knows that you probably are gonna try to use that against him somehow. He know that, or you will use it against another Black man. Same difference. It's the same difference. He doesn't care either. He doesn't care about that either way, because you're not going to be trying to benefit him with it. Whatever reason you went and got it for, it wasn't to his benefit. He know that much. And even if he have children with you, it's not to their benefit either, because whatever benefit it is for you to have gotten them degrees and got that education and that money, that you don't be the only one benefit from that. He know he can't benefit. He never going to. And even if you had children with him, his children aren't going to benefit from it, because the moment you get mad, you're going to turn against his kids too. And everybody knows that. Like, everybody know that. It's pointless for y'all to be going to get these degrees if it's not going to benefit nobody. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't get an education, but I'm saying it's got to be a purpose behind it other than gathering up hundreds of thousands of dollars of student debt that you never pay off. That you want to get a quote unquote high value man to pay it off for you. Anyway, y'all can knock it off. And while you knocking it off, sound off in the comment section for me. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host of Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.